Welcome back to What She Said, and joining us is an R&B sensation, a Canadian Karl Wolf. And we have your whole fan club here in studio
Absolutely,
today.
2 people.
You're a popular guy. No. So how are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Good.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about your new album.
Let's do it.
Okay, it's called Stereotype.
Yes.
It's called Stereotype. Now, why? You're not a stereotype, or are you?
Well, some people would think I am, and I've been, kind of typecast as this guy who covers, 80s bands and stuff and brings them to life.
Well, you
today.
do Africa by Toto. You're going to get that reputation.
Exactly, and I just thought, this time around I wanted to, kind of write and produce all my own music and, and show people that I can actually write and produce.
So what happens when you have a hit like Africa? I know what happened with my family. My kids were absolutely stunned. They didn't know what the heck was going on because I knew all the words.
Right.
They're going like, how do you know all the words to this song? It's like, well, it came out a while ago.
Exactly.
But what happens when you have a hit like that? How does your life change?
Well, the thing is, I was producing and writing songs, and I had singles out before Africa came out. And I had actually a top 40 record called Desensitized with Shock Claire, who's a rapper from Toronto. But they never broke, it never went to number 1 or number 10. So when I before I made Africa, I had 4 other songs out there. People didn't know that. When Africa broke.
Yeah, you were an overnight discovery.
Pretty much. People thought
success,
that. Right. But it took me 5 years before that to kind of get to that point. It was amazing. I mean, look, I knew that making that song, it was my decision, obviously. I love Toto. I love Africa, the original. So I'm a big fan, and I wanted to remake those harmonies in the chorus. They were so much fun to do. And then it just I believed in it. I knew it would do something. I know people would love that in a club. That's kind of how I envisioned it when I produced it originally. I was like, okay, think of a dance floor and what would people want to hear, And this is one of my favorite songs, so let me try to fuse the two. And it was huge. It sold millions around the world. It was awesome. Yeah, life-changing, obviously.
But everyone always says that to be a musician or even a producer, you've got to do your own stuff, and that's what you're doing now.
Yeah, I mean, I've always done my own stuff anyways, and I put them in between these big cover singles. Like I've done Ghetto Love, which was, the original was Peter Cetera's Glory of Love, or Chicago. I remade that as well. That did really well. We went gold with that. And in between, I always write my own songs, and they do well too. So that's kind of my trick. So Africa goes 4 times platinum, and then I write another song, it goes gold and platinum, and then I go back to a cover, and it goes double platinum. So it's
Gee, rough life.
Yeah.
So we started off by talking about the album Stereotype. Now we know that you're going to play Summertime for us in a little bit. But tell us, Live Baby. So tell us a little bit about who else is on the album, and what kind of music are we listening to? Is there a range?
It is. I mean, I still wanted to keep my own style, which is very summery, dance hall reggae. I love all that. I grew up in Dubai, and Dubai is usually a beach city, so just love the beach, love the sun. But I'm starting to mess with some old school R&B. I met Quincy Jones when I was in Dubai, and we had a great sit down chat. He gave me some advice. Him and Bruce Swedien, who's the engineer for Thriller, Michael Jackson's Billie Jean, Thriller, all his albums. So really good. Took some really nice info from them and started working on some really cool Michael Jackson influenced music.
What was their advice?
Bruce Swedien, who's the mixer, was like, you should always, it was more of a technical mastering thing. He was like, just make everything clear for when you're recording a song, because I produce all my records. So he's like, just make sure they're broadcast, what did he call it? Broadcast ready or something. I don't know what he said. Broadcast clarity. Just make sure it's clear for broadcast.
And what about Quincy?
And Quincy was like, you can steal music. It's okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was telling me a story about, I don't know if I should say this.
Go ahead. It's just between us girls.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the Billie Jean record, the bass line was directly stolen from someone else, he was saying. And they stole it from Hall & Oates. I won't go for that. That one. And when they won the Grammy,
Toto days,
when Michael Jackson won the Grammy, Hall & Oates called Michael Jackson and said, "Hey man, I love that record you have, the Billie Jean record." And Michael's like, "Yeah, but we took it straight from you guys. You know, we took." So he was telling me that story. It's really cool.
And Hall & Oates never.
No, they didn't care.
They were fine.
They were so happy. Yeah. So his advice pretty much was, you know, you can take things from other people. We all do. There's only 12 notes on the piano anyway. So you know, you got to take stuff from people in order to create something new in the future. So.
Okay. Well, you've never been sued for, have you?
No, because I pay for all the rights. You know, I buy the rights. Like it took me 2 years to get the rights to Africa. You know, myself, I didn't have a record label, I didn't have a manager at the time, nothing.
And interestingly enough, in 2013, because when did you put out Africa?
Oh, that was 2008.
Okay, but in 2013, Toto's version re-entered the charts.
No, it entered the charts in 2009 when I had mine.
When you had yours, and then in 2013
then it came back because it was
New Zealand, they were doing a
retour. Whatever, yeah.
Well, yeah, anniversary. So again, like, have you had any contact with them about that? And what was that conversation like?
They think my version is the best that's ever been made. I know, it's pretty cool. It was out there in a magazine. You can go check it out online. So it was David Page's favorite version remake. He shouts me out basically, so that's really cool. And then Bobby, the guy Bobby Kendall, who actually sings the song, who sings the part in the chorus, reached out to me and said, "Hey man, if you ever want to do a show, invite me and let's kind of do it together and whatever, you know, just at least that song, you know."
Yeah.
What she said, ooh yeah, my girl, summertime, yeah, hey. What's up, bravo, in another past life? Lady like she's a dancehall queen, searching for a love, attracted to the fame. One love, one heart, one soul, one dream. You see, we live in a great big world, and all this attention I gave you, girl, control me, I gave up. I blocked my heart, only in the winter time, yeah. As soon as the clouds start to get out the way, 22's on my cabriolet. Let me tell you, I'm jamming away. Summertime, this is the life, we're about to just turn up. So dance up on me all night, we're about to get stupid. Hey, so wake up, and fall in love in the summertime. Hey, summertime in my heart, fall in love in the summertime. Oh, summertime.